What is up, dreamers, and welcome back to some Mobius FF Global, of course. And in this one, we're going to take a look at the Scholar Hall of Fame that just reached Global a few days ago. First thing we'll do is look at the OG job card, and then we'll look at the brand new custom panels that we got, and then we'll talk decks. So let's take a look at what the original stuff that the Scholar comes with. It is a mage type job, Warrior of Light job. In multiplayer, you're a defender. You've got fire, water, wind elements. Your ult is going to be a single target. It's kind of a weaker ability as far as attack power, break power goes, but its utility is beautiful because it applies weakness, which is lovely, especially for this job. And then it also does a prism shift, which is always incredible. Moving on up. It's got clutch regen, clutch veil, decent clutch abilities there, power drives to fire, wind, heal drives to fire and wind, enhanced fire 40%, enhanced fire right there, resistance to water 30%, and then elemental starter plus 16, extended break plus 4 is very standard, exploit weakness plus 20, improve crits plus 30, avert stun 50%, avert magic down 50%. When you job change shift, it'll shift you over to fire. Everything else is pretty standard. Not bad. Like, honestly, really not bad. Just looking at these stats, like, I honestly used Scholar as a defender even before the Hall of Fame. I was using Scholar if I needed these elements, because Scholar has always been one of those jobs that has beautiful elements, especially for a defender. Fire, water, wind. I mean, if you're going up against fire or water, this has basically been a decent tank. That being said, it's not like people use this job a lot, and it's because it was one of the squishier Warrior of Light jobs. Just kind of being in a weird spot with decent magic. It's kind of like a hybrid damage dealer, defender type role. So really good in single player, but in multiplayer, you know, you don't get to use the attack power as much, but that's fine. So, as far as custom skill panels go, that this job has, when you do the Hall of Fame, let's take a look. Base attributes plus 40%. Lovely. Actually pretty damn lovely. So, defense plus 30, just more defense, which is really good because this is one of the squishier tanks in the game. Steel Guard plus 5% increases defense by 5% until the end of a turn every time you receive damage. So as you receive more damage, your defense goes up. This is where it gets interesting. Exploit weakness, 280% exploit weakness. So allowing you to deal damage if you wanted to, honestly. Really, really cool. So let's look at this deck. This is just my example deck. You might not have Aerith, so let's go ahead and throw in like Knights of the Round or something in here. Take this off. There we go. Let's throw Knights of the Round in here. This is what I would run single player. This job is pretty tanky, so I don't feel like I would need any defensive buffs. I would just go all out offensive. Undying in there, Knights of the Round in there to get all my buffs. And then I'm using Ixion here. Actually Leviathan, which is a break defense down card for mages. And then for my Assault Barrage damage dealing, damage focus card, I'm using Ignis. If you don't have Ignis, there's plenty of good fire cards in the game. I would go with Maya, the Maya Jaw ability in here instead. But just looking at these stats, honestly, these are pretty dang impressive. 1400 HP, which is pretty decent for a tank. 874 attack power, not bad. Break power is a little bit low, 631. I like to see it more around 1000, but honestly, you could still get your breaks off with this job. Magic, a beautiful, almost 1200% magic. Damn! Allowing you to deal all kinds of nasty damage. You do have a slight elemental bonus for fire, So, I mean, you could deal some damage with this job, honestly, if you don't have other jobs, and you are able to complete the Hall of Fame. This job actually looks really good. 4 stars crit with our current weapons. What do we got? We got 7-star speed. And I believe that is 9 stars of defense, so actually pretty good looking as far as defense goes. As far as weapons, of course, I've got my Eternity Staff X. I stopped boosting Warrior of Light Mage weapons, so it's really the best weapon I've got. So I'm not using this because it's the best weapon, I'm just using it because it's really all I've got. If I didn't have that leveled up, I'd probably go with like Astral Wand X. It's usually my go-to for most jobs if I don't have a good weapon. I'll go with the multiplayer weapon that gives prisms. So, Eternity, just great stats there. Let's talk about the multiplayer setup. So in multiplayer, you're not going to be dealing any damage, so the exploit weakness is kind of worthless. It's not worthless, I mean, you could set yourself up for doing damage, but for the most part, no one needs you to do that. People just need you to drive and taunt, honestly. So that's what I've got set up here. Same job and everything. We've got our Astro Wand X, just to give us a little boost in HP. So we're looking at 21k HP, which is pretty damn good. We've got our 2 taunts here: Wind Taunt, Water Taunt. Cannot recommend these cards enough. If you're not using the newest taunt cards in your tank decks, then you're crazy. You're really, really hurting your team by not dispelling buffs and taunting there. And then we've got some optional other cards here. So I'm using Stunga, which will work really nice on some bosses. And then I've got Devil Ride here. It's a newer card, so you might not have it. If you don't have Devil Ride, then I mean you could go with any other debuff. You could even stick another taunt in there. Basically, the most important things for you to do in multiplayer as a defender is to drive the right elements and, you know, heal when you need to heal. You can heal the whole party. You actually do a better job at healing than the healer can, so good stuff. Just some quick tips there if you don't already know all that stuff. But honestly, looking at this job, like it looks really good. It honestly looks really good. I'm pleasantly surprised, just like how I was with the Dragoon. This is beautiful. This fits beautifully in our meta right now. And now we have a really viable fire, water, wind tank that we just didn't have before. So all in all, I really like the job, honestly. I really like the job. Let me know how you guys feel about it. We'll showcase it doing some damage for the end of this video. So let me know how you guys feel about your sages. It's good to be able to use him again. He was definitely an underused job. And I'm not really sure why, honestly. He's got great elements. He's really good for single player if you're not rocking him for single player. I mean, he's there if you need him. He's a really good job. Available on the starter pack kit, so if you're a new player wondering whether or not you should pick the Scholar up, honestly, you should pick up all the starter kit jobs if you haven't picked them up yet. Because they're all awesome, and now that their Hall of Fames are released, they're just that much better. They're so much better now, so let me know how you guys feel about your Scholars. I am loving mine. I'm really impressed by the stat spread and just like how good this job ends up being once you get the Hall of Fame done. But let me know what you guys think. As always, it has been an absolute pleasure being your host on this episode of Mobius FF. Make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe to show your support. I really appreciate the support from you guys. Cannot do it without you. If there's anything I forgot, please go ahead and add it down below in the comments. Keep that discussion going. You're always invited to the Dreamer Society Discord. Links in the bio if you ever need that. I'll catch you on the next one.